waiting on?
Yeah, my mama, bro, you would have been
Justice for Nip.
Or your boy would have been there like, yeah,
on my
you
mama,
got
bro, I
it.
swear to God, everybody that was showing this shit.
You did.
Hey, what is going on with y'all, man? It is Black Balloon, and we are coming back with another video, so y'all already know what's going on. Alright, y'all. As promised, we are here with, I guess you could call it the part 2 to Nipsey Hussle's death, sacrifice. You know, we bringing the topic back around. The internet is, I guess it's kind of been hot lately ever since Black Sam did the interview with Big Boy. You know, there's just been a lot of talk going back around the internet with everything that went down, especially with Big U being the one who set the entire thing up to have Nipsey Hussle killed. This is the other theory that I was talking about in the last video we did with Diddy and Lauren London. Now, I think it all connects, and I'm going to use this video to go deeper and, you know, get down the rabbit hole, and we're gonna figure this whole thing out, right? Now, this video, there's a lot of different ways I can go. There's a lot of talk with the Big U theory. There can be 50 different clips of people talking about Big U setting the whole thing up, from Whack 100, you know, to Charleston White, to random people that live in LA. I've listened to a couple hours worth of videos, IG lives. There's a lot. So I'm gonna, you know, break this one down and keep it a little simple so we're not just all over the place. I'm gonna use clips that really show the evidence of Big U actually being the one responsible for Nipsey's death. I know we just did the last video with Diddy and Lauren London and talking about that may have been the theory. So, you know, I'm not saying any of this stuff is just the downright truth, but I ultimately believe this was an industry sacrifice, and I'm going to get to that toward the end of this video because there's deeper things as far as numerology and, you know, the age that he died at that ties this to something bigger, which would be a ritual sacrifice, more than just Big U being the leader of the Rollin 60s and setting Nipsey up to die. I think ultimately it's a little bit bigger than that, but this theory definitely holds the most weight and evidence. And as far as people believing that it was Big U behind it, who actually set it up, doesn't mean that this was not a ritual sacrifice, because things actually point to that being the case, right? So for this first clip, just to get into the video, I think we'll go ahead and throw this Charleston White clip in here because he just, you know, he breaks it down with no filter, and really goes right, you know, into the thick of the situation. Then I got a couple clips from Big U himself, and it gets a little eerie. It gets a little dark. You know, I feel a very dark vibe when I watch Big U, and he tells a lot of lies through his eyes. You know, you can, from watching so much of him researching this video, you can tell he lies by the way that he moves his eyes when he's talking. And this one's going to be pretty interesting, y'all. So I'm not going to make this intro too long. We'll go ahead and jump into the first clip of this video, and then we're going to come back and talk about it a little bit more. Check this out.
Homie, they killed Nip too. Let's not forget, homie, they killed Nipsey Hussle. Eric Holder was not a lone actor in that. If you go back and follow the details, Nip and Big U got into it. Big U hit Nip Daddy across the head with a bat. His brother had to come out and shoot the gun. Hey, y'all get out. Say, Nip, come on, nigga, we finna come beat you. because I don't want to pay that $20,000. You say it's over this equipment, but the white folks is pulling me away from the set. I met a Jewish white boy on the front row at the Los Angeles Lakers ball game. Me and this white boy getting drunk. We started talking business idea. This white boy see I'm a sharp nigga. This white boy pulled me into business ventures, the vector sector, right? So now I'm being expanded, but now they pulling me away from the set. The set have made it known nobody's bigger than the set. Nobody's bigger than the program. Nip had gotten bigger than the program. Quando is a reminder that nobody's bigger than the program. But Nip had gotten bigger than the set. Well, what do you mean by that, Charleston? Think about when Big U and all the other big homies and the OGs in the hood, they standing in front of Nip shit. They standing on the street corners. When Nip pull up in that motherfucking platinum Jaguar, he pull up in that motherfucking platinum Jaguar, nigga, them fresh ass Puma with all them goddamn chains on. And then he opened up the door. He got a Hollywood bitch coming up out of there, London Lauren, one of the baddest Hollywood bitches we done seen. When the little homies see Nip pull up, do you think they gonna stay here and talk to the big homies, Big U and them? They gonna make an about face and say, y'all, there go Nip. And they gonna run away from the big homies. As all the excitement going to Nip, all the brawls, everybody, the store, what you think the big homie sitting back saying? Now Nip is growing. Nip that Monday had a meeting with the LA County, with the LA Police Departments on gang intervention program before he come up dead. So now Nip and Big U done fell out over $20,000 worth of equipment. So they say, but it's really over $20,000 nigga extortion fee to pay for protection. Yeah, Nip was being extorted too. He had to pay for protection. That's why they got that video of him that Wack 100 say they got of him. Why would they let Wack even make that statement? So peep game. So you think them niggas ain't saying, man, that nigga there woo woo woo, and his brother go shoot at us? That nigga brother pull a gun out on Big U, nigga. His brother nigga, you don't pull no gun out on no nigga. Every street nigga know, nigga, y'all don't give a damn where you shot that gun at. You pulled it out on me, nigga. And Big Black Sam ain't never been down with the set. Black Sam have always tried to pull them niggas out of Nip's business and get him away from the set. But you can't do that, cuz. Them white folks start pulling Earmus away. Earman started going to the Lakers game, hanging out with them white folks, meeting them Jewish people down on the court side. The set wasn't with Nip when he met that white boy from Vector at the Lakers game. The set not going. Now, Black Sam got the mind. Black Sam ain't down with the set. So the set never liked Black Sam. They trying to pull Nip away from Black Sam. Black Sam trying to pull Nip away from the game. Because Black Sam got the business mind. The set need Nip, because Nip got the money to buy them niggas guns. Nip got the money. So the set trying to pull him away, and the people trying to pull him away from the set. So the set say, nigga, we'll kill him for y'all have him. So Big U go get the equipment. Now, nigga, give me the equipment. Hit his dad in the head with a bat. Boom! Oh, god damn. Hit the old man. Black Sam come out the house. Boom, boom, shoot the pistol in the air. This is documented reports. Then Nip come up dead. Prior to Earman's death, he had a meeting scheduled with the LAPD for gang intervention and gang prevention programs. The set didn't want that to happen. Nip was getting bigger than the set. The set couldn't control Nip no more. He was getting too big. They kept trying to pull him back to the set. The Jewish white boy and Black Sam was trying to pull him over here to the business development of the community. But the set got Nip off in the set. Say, man, that nigga there, woo, woo, woo.
Nip wasn't supposed to say nothing to that nigga, but that nigga was sent to kill Nip because Nip did not longer want to pay that $20,000 protection fee. You see what happened to Quavo Rondo? Everybody got to pay their set, my nigga. Black 100 got to do it, Suge Knight had to do it, YG got to do it, Kendrick Lamar got to do it. If you from them niggas set, you got to pay. And you got to pay them before you pay you, or else you will die. And that's what happened to Nipsey Hussle.
Now, that clip we played in the beginning of the video before my intro instrumental dropped was wicked, y'all. It was eerie because Big U actually said justice for Nipsey because he saw the comment somebody left on his live and he laughed at it. He looked back at the people behind him and he laughed. Now the two behind him were just rambling. They was probably laughing at what the dude was talking about. Big U read that comment, looked back at them and laughed. He wasn't laughing at what they was talking about. He was laughing at someone saying justice for Nipsey. That right there blew my mind. And I watched that entire little live. It wasn't that long, but I watched it for the context because it was like a minute or 2 minutes before he got to that part where he laughed.
Tell me what you waiting on. Justice for them.
He definitely was laughing at someone saying justice for Nipsey, right? So the next clip I'm going to show you is going to be Big U explaining how he found Nipsey back in 2009 and signed him to his label. And y'all are going to find that clip, it's about 2 minutes long. And it's about, I think it was 2 years after Nipsey died when he did it. Man, that's why I said this one is going to hold the most weight of evidence for sure. That clip, that one blew my mind as well. Now, what we heard Charleston White talk about was, which is, you know, what a lot of people thought. Big U set it up because Nipsey basically got bigger than the set. He didn't want to pay that protection money anymore. Big U tries to say that they were friends, but they actually had a lot of problems. Nipsey was starting to bring people to the hood that he didn't get permission to bring. He brought YG, he brought DJ Khaled, and Big U and other folks had problems with both times that he tried to do that. There was another IG live from a woman that lives in LA that talked about when Nipsey brought YG to the hood, Nipsey actually had to run a few fades, and he said he took his shirt off when Big U and some other homies approached him, and he said he willing to get down about bringing YG to the hood. So he had to, you know, basically fight a couple people in order for that to happen. And he did what he had to do.
Nip started fucking with YG, and he had brought YG to the 60s. And when he brought YG to the 60s, I remember Big U was trying to pop shit about it. Like, how you bringing this whoop-de-whoop nigga to the hood, this and that. And Nip peeled out his shirt. And he was like, nigga, I'll get down for cuz whoop-whoop. And Nip had to run fades to have YG in the 6-0s.
So I'm saying that because this just shows you evidence that they weren't cool. You know, it was already beef. Nipsey was already trying to get away from Big U because he was just coming out of that deal that Big U had him tied to for an entire 10 years, y'all. 10 years. Then there's also the rumors of Big U trying to extort Lauren London or going for 30% of, if I'm not mistaken, I think the Marathon or the clothing store, he was going for 30% right after Nipsey died. Because he was broke. Then I'm also going to show you a clip of him talking about one of the reasons he went broke after Nipsey died. And he looks very envious when he talks about this stuff. And none of it is actually, you know, any love for Nipsey. You know, you could tell he just talks about himself. There's no real love when he talks about him. And he actually gets very weird. His body language gets very weird when he talks about Nipsey. You know, just to kind of back up a little bit to the Charleston White clip, he really broke it down very well. And, you know, it makes a lot of sense, because if anybody know, nobody wants to see a person right next to them getting bigger than where it once started. When a guy like Big U, or just anybody, you sign someone from when they were dirt poor, and later on down the road, he becomes bigger than what y'all had planned. He becomes bigger than what you even had planned for him. And you see that that starts to create jealousy. It starts to create hate. You start to envy in the wrong way. And eventually it will lead to someone being killed. Like Charleston White said. He said, before y'all pull him away and he started doing all this without the set, I'm going to kill you before I let y'all have him. And that could have been very well what happened. But, I don't have to go in too much on what Charleston White talked about. I don't think you can break it down any better than that. But one thing, which actually is a couple things, we have to realize, and this is why I said this is definitely connected, and it is all connected from Diddy to it being a ritual sacrifice. Now, mind you, remember what Charleston White said, and it's also an interview of Whack 100 saying it on Vlad TV, about them having a tape of Nipsey Hussle, being with a man, having sex with a man. I'm almost 98% sure and positive that if that tape is real, it's with Diddy. I'm almost 100%. Because it ain't gonna be with no random dude that you would feel like, you'll never see this guy again. No, it's gonna be with somebody like Diddy, who you gonna be forced to be friends with. You gonna be around him a few times. Even after you do this, you're gonna have to look at this dude who just got up in you so you can be in this industry. And Big U connected around a lot of them folks too. Fat Joe, he connected in the industry too. He's this stuff is real. But if that tape, just like Charleston White said, think about it. Why would they even let Whack 100 put that out there? That they had a tape of him being with a man. I guarantee you it's with Diddy. I guarantee you. Diddy done hit Meek Mill. He done hit them all. I guarantee you it's with Diddy. My point of saying that is because everything else has to be looked at. The fact that he died at 33. The fact that the day that he died, which was March 31st, 2019. I had this screenshot for years, since the day that Nipsey died. It's in one of my old videos, and if I gotta go back and screenshot it for this video, I'm gonna go ahead and do that. Guess what, right? That's why I said the numerology, everything ties back to this being a ritual sacrifice as well. 33 when he died. They say he was shot 5 times, 1 time in the head. That's 6 shots. Guess what? March 31st, 2019. I got the screenshot to prove it. He had 3.1 million followers the day that he died. And he was also following 2019 people. It don't get no more eerie than that, y'all. He died on the 31st. He had 3.1 million followers. And he was following 2019 people. Bro, that shit blew my mind. It blew my mind. This was the day that he died. So, of course, he gained a lot more followers after he died. But I took a screenshot of it. I think College Kid posted it first. But they didn't post it knowing, I don't think they posted it like, yo, this is like some sacrifice shit. They just posted it because it was weird. And then we haven't even talked about the stuff with the stretcher. Them like fake pumping his body when they was willing him, dude walking and pumping his chest with one hand. No blood on the scene. They say no bullet holes in his shirts. What kind of ritual voodoo magic was done that day? Hell, I don't even know if I believe it was Nipsey on the stretcher. We ain't even talked about that theory. So think about how deep this rabbit hole goes. And we all know when there's no blood on the scene, that's a Freemasonic ritual. These are rituals. What is his name? Aramis or something? We don't know who Nipsey was. Or even his brother. We don't know their background at all. He could be some kind of damn CIA agent. He might not even be dead. I don't think that was him on the stretcher. That was fake. That was an act. by whoever was pumping his chest. No blood, y'all? Y'all already know what that mean. How many people we got to go back to? Biggie Smalls, no blood. Pop, no blood. XXX, no blood. Don't let me get carried away here. Let me stay on topic, all right? Because I actually wanted to do that rant toward the end of the video. But like I said, it's so much. Things just start pinging off of my head. So look, let's get back into this evidence of Big U directly setting this up, all right? Check this out.
Signing Nipsey, I mean, obviously, aside from being from the same area, how did you guys, like, how did that end up, you know, happening? You and you told the story a lot before, so just kind of give us a quick, you know.
Yeah. My nephew, TD, I was looking for artists. TD told me to go get Nip. I went and seek Nipped out of all the people I already been interviewing and talking to. And he was the shining light. He was the diamond in a pile of whatever. He was a diamond. Let me respect to my other homies. He was a diamond in a pile of other diamonds, but he was
a bigger diamond.
He was a shine.
Yeah. He was,
and then
he was the VVS.
He was the VVS.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And we had made a couple of moves and was trying to move through a couple of doors, and I vastly found out that I couldn't go through these doors. So that's when I went and got Steve Lobel. And I went and got Steve, let Steve hear the music. Steve felt the same way I felt about the music. And I was like, boom. So I signed Nipsey to Unique Music, to my to Aramis Astrodome, to my label, to Unique Music. And then Steve was 10% management and I was 10% management because it didn't make no sense for us to go get another manager.
Right.
And so we started pushing on that. So I signed him it was signed to a 10-year production contract, which started in 2009, which would end 2019.
Crazy.
Hello. But I ain't tripping off of that because, you know, it is what it is. But I do have that. You know what I mean? So
wait, so your deal with Nipsey was 10 years?
It was 10 years.
It was a 10
years, 25% of publishing to Aramis Astrodome.
Oh, wow. So 09 to 2019.
09 to 2019.
So technically, Victory Lap.
Hello.
Okay. Wow.
Wow.
Now, I don't know if we want to believe he was fully in a 10-year contract with Big Useless. You know, a lot of people say he was getting out of that deal or that he had already severed ties with the deal. I'm not sure. It seems like that he may have still been in that contract, but maybe it got to a point where he was just refusing certain things. Certain obligations have been met. I don't know. I'm not sure of the details. It's hard to find the real truth on if he was still under contract with Big U. But we obviously know it was one of those contracts you sign when you're desperate. Like I said, no one today would sign a 10-year contract. In the industry, that's almost like a lifetime contract, especially if you go in the red and you owe a bunch of money and you haven't recouped certain things. You know, you basically signing your life away regardless, right? Then the most eerie thing about that clip, mind you, that was 2 years after Nipsey died. So he was like mocking the situation, like, yeah, I got that. Like, yeah, Victory Lap was the last album. Like, yeah, I made money off that. That's me. You know, he could be even, he could be saying that just to say it, to try to be like, you know, kind of smart with it, but he really ain't make nothing, but he just saying it just to try to keep it going. Or it could have really been the case where he actually made some money off of that, you know? And it's just, the most obvious thing is that the contract lasted for 10 years. It was over with in 2019, and Nipsey died in 2019. So that could have been another reason why Big U set it up. You know, contract was ending, money was ending. He was already not paying that extortion fee no more. He said, shit, same thing like Charleston White said, I'm gonna kill you before anybody else can get you. And we all know when people become envious of you in that way, they'll do anything to wipe you off this earth. Now, I was going to play this other clip, but I don't want it to get copyrighted, and I'm not sure. You know, these days I try not to play with too much stuff as far as copyright because they'll hit you quick. But Big U also said that he had multiple contracts, which I'm sure Nipsey got him, or they were Nipsey contracts that went away when Nipsey died. Because Big U said in a little interview that as soon as Nipsey died and rumors started spreading that he had something to do with it, He lost the Adidas contract. Kanye West stopped answering the phone for him. Another company stopped messing with him. He basically said they lost all endorsements because he had a football team of up to like 400 kids. It might have been like a traveling team or something like that. And they had all of these endorsements for the kids, for the teams. And he said he lost it all and he went broke trying to keep the team afloat because he had already made a dedication to those kids. That also could have been something behind the scenes that Nipsey was pulling away from, trying to sever all ties with Big U. So anything Nipsey's status and name got Big U, he was pulling away, or Black Sam was helping him pull away, and that could have been another reason. But it backfired anyway because Big Useless went broke when Nipsey died. Because of all of those endorsements, people stopped messing with him because they knew he had something to do with his death. And you already know the family, like Charleston said, the family ain't want nothing to do with him, which is why they wasn't trying to give up anything that has to do with Nipsey's estate. I think Lauren London got half of the estate, if I'm not mistaken. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. But ultimately, you know, Nipsey Hussle's death is very deep, and it's in the hands of multiple people. Diddy and Big U could have very well orchestrated this. I think it's all connected. I wouldn't doubt it at all. Just like how I was explaining, you know, there's so much to talk about with it. You know, we're just talking about people who could have been behind setting this up. We're not even talking about the fact that, you know, this was a Freemasonic ritual and there was no blood on the scene. There's a whole nother theory that Nipsey may not even be dead, you know. This was some kind of, you know, graduation ritual, you know. Because when I see stuff like this, that he died at 33 years old, when you see the way that, when you see all the people that came to his death ceremony, basically, that looked like a ritual. You know, this whole thing just stinks of Freemasonic ritual. That's all I can really think of when it comes to the end result of Nipsey's sacrifice, is that it was a huge energy harvesting festival, basically. Large amounts of energy harvested from Nipsey Hussle's death, which is why ultimately this is a lot bigger than just Big U, you know, a Crip from LA setting up Nipsey to be murdered. It gets a lot deeper than that. Which is why I also said this is just another theory that is easy for people to believe. You're going to look over the industry. You're going to look over ties to the Freemasons because, you know, people just are cool with, you know, going with, oh, yeah, he got set up by his own gang. It's crazy. That's how the streets are, blah, blah, blah. That's like they want you to think it's that simple when all reality, these guys are pawns. And at the end of the day, this all could have been fake. Nipsey might not even be dead no more. I promise you probably wouldn't even recognize Nipsey if he cut that hair and that beard off. He'd probably blend in with his kind and you wouldn't even know who he is. Shit, more than half the world didn't know who Nipsey was until he died. Think about that. He blend in so easy outside of the rap industry. Man might not even be dead. And that's why I'm going to end this video. I want to keep going on and on. I think we've covered it pretty well from the 2 videos that we did, going over, you know, the theories that are involved in the death or not of Nipsey Hussle, right? So y'all let me know what y'all think about this video, man. Get in the comments. Yeah, we get a conversation going back and forth as usual. I appreciate all the love from the last video, so I really hope y'all like this one. And with that being said, it's Black Balloon, and I'm going to see y'all soon. I'm out.